All right, everyone. So today I wanted to talk everything about gems, the best way to spend your gems, the worst way that you can spend your gems. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is something happened recently. It was posted in the announcements. Guys, with this maintenance, we fixed the gems pack, the one that gives a certain share of gems daily once you purchased it. It is now available for the players that bought it in the past. So what I am talking about is this pack right here. Now, I don't normally talk about packs because you guys know how I feel about that. I could spend all day talking about how bad most of the offers in Raid Shadow Legends are, but this is one of the very few offers where I could safely say it's actually a decent offer. You're definitely going to get your money's worth, at least in comparison to all the other offers. 2,140 gems for $10 is over 200 gems per dollar. Great value, not a bad pack. If you have a budget of around $10 or so a month, I highly recommend going with this over any other purchase in the game. It's miles ahead of any of the other offers that you'll see. You know, just in comparison, if you take a look at this gem pack right here, you're looking at 5,500 gems for $100. Now, of course, this one you get instantly, but you're looking at almost 4 times as worse of a deal. This one you're only getting about 55 gems per dollar, whereas that daily gem offer, you're getting, what was it again? 200 something gems per dollar. So about 4 times as good as some of the pop-ups that you'll see. Now, with that being said, I thought I would mention some of the best and worst ways to spend your gems. So with that being said, let's jump right into that. Now, number one, I would say probably going to be one of the best ways to spend your gems is going to be energy refills. Now, energy is a very valuable resource in Raid Shadow Legends. It's going to be the mechanism pretty much behind your overall account progression, whether it be through the campaign, farming experience for champions to rank up to 6 stars, farming for silver to upgrade your artifacts, farming actual dungeons to get artifacts, of course, Minotaur scrolls for masteries, Ascension potions. Energy is going to be the main resource used in pretty much every aspect of the game, and it's limited. You only get a certain amount of it each day. You do get a couple of refills for free from your daily quests and also from your daily timed login rewards, but besides that, the freebies that the game gives you, if you want to keep playing, well, you're kind of in a bit of a situation here. So using gems to refresh your energy is not terrible. I know if you don't spend a lot of money or if you don't have a lot of gems, you might be tempted to save them for other things, but never feel too bad about it because that's just how important energy is in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, if you don't want to use gems to refresh your energy, that's totally okay. There are going to be plenty of other very good ways to spend your gems in Raid Shadow Legends. And moving on to number 2 is going to be big shard packs. Now, big shard packs are definitely not going to be a bad way to spend your gems, especially if you end up saving the shards for double rate events like Double Ancients, which we just had recently. And if you end up going to the gem shop right here, you'll see it, small shard pack and big shard pack. Now, the big shard pack costs 900 gems, and it's going to give you 11 ancient shards. So if you break down the math, you're looking at around 84 or so gems per ancient shard. And again, if you save it for the double rates event, you have a double the chance of getting epics and legendaries. Definitely not going to be a bad way to spend your gems, and it might make you feel better as well. Whereas energy, once you spend it, it's gone. If you end up using your gems for ancient shards, especially if you're newer to the game, you're almost always going to get at least something out of it. Sure, a lot of the times it's going to be a rare champion that's probably not that great, but again, if you're newer, you might be able to actually put a lot of those rare champions to use. So I would say that as you play the game more and more, these big shard packs seem to be less attractive because you're probably going to have more and more of the champions, but definitely still going to be one of the better ways to spend your gems. Now moving on to number 3 on the list, and that is going to be Mastery Scrolls. This is actually a recent addition where you now have the option to spend gems to fully unlock masteries on a champion. So let's just go with an example champion here, Masteries. I'm not actually going to do it. I just want to show you guys what it looks like right here. As you can see, it'll fully max out all of your scrolls for 800 gems. Now, I put this in the good category, even though some people might disagree a little bit because this is a little bit more expensive than the amount of energy that it would take for you to actually do this all manually. I have an entire video from a few weeks ago where I dedicate going into the math and the numbers behind if you were to break down how much energy and how many refills it would take for you to fully unlock the masteries behind a champion, what would it cost in comparison to the 800 gems that it takes to unlock it instantly. And you're looking at a bit of a discount. You know, if you just do it manually and you farm the scrolls yourself, you're looking at about 650, 660 gems worth of energy. So yes, this costs a little bit more, but you have the convenience of doing it all at once. You have the convenience of not having to farm Minotaur a million times, leave your PC on and auto farm it, and go through any of that. Now, it doesn't really work very well if you already have some scrolls, because this will fully unlock all of your scrolls. You don't get any discount if you've already gotten some of the mastery scrolls already. So, you know, it's some people have mixed opinions about it, but I think for the convenience factor, it's definitely not a bad way to end up using your gems. If you want to min-max it, though, you will save a few gems if you decide to farm it all manually yourself, though. Now moving on to the next thing on the list, and that is going to be the gem mine. Now, I haven't actually talked about this in a very long time. This is a very new player thing. Most of you guys who've been playing the game for a while probably already have the gem mine, but it's just quite simply a investment where it's going to pay itself off after 100 days. So there's 3 tiers, 500 gems each, and you end up getting gems every single day. After 100 days, the gem mine will have paid off the gems that it took to unlock it. So anything afterwards is just free gems. I mean, it's not really a big deal. If you don't plan on playing the game for a very long time, then it probably isn't worth it. But if you're in it for the long haul, it's definitely going to pay itself off. So I would say, as a newer player, if you do want to, if you consider yourself playing Raid for a long time in the future, probably going to be one of the things that you want to look at investing in earlier on so that you get a higher payoff from it. Next thing on the list is going to be the market slot unlocks, and I'm not talking about market refreshes. Very importantly, you guys might have even forgotten about this because it might have been a long time ago if you've been playing the game for a while, but if you are a newer player, definitely make sure that you buy the market unlocks at the bottom. Now, when you first start out, I think you only have something like 6 market slots, and then the other ones you have to unlock with silver and gems. Definitely going to be worth it, especially if you play the game for a while. These will pay themselves off in the shards that you get, the ancient shards, mystery shards, the champions, the gear. Definitely going to be worth it. One of the first things that you should probably look at spending your gems in. So now, very importantly, though, I said the one-time unlocks, and I'm not talking about the actual market refreshes, which cost 5 gems each. Next thing on the list is going to be the Sparring Pit. Now, I don't know if I've actually ever talked about the Sparring Pit. It's kind of similar to the gem mine in the sense that it's a long-term investment. Now, the gem mine pays itself off in exactly 100 days. So whether you buy level 1, level 2, or level 3, you will get the 500, 1,000, or 1,500 gems that you invested in the gem mine back after 100 days. And then every 100 days afterwards, you're making that amount of gems back. So me right now, I've been playing the game since April. I've probably made around, 250 to 300. No, not 250, 300. Sorry, what would that be? Like 2,000 or so, close to 2,000, maybe even 3,000 gems of profit from the gem mine, because I paid the 1,500, then 100 days later, I made all that back, and then for the next 200 days or so, I've been making profit ever since then. Now, the Sparring Pit is a little bit different. It's not quite as easy to understand the payoff as the gem mine, because instead of getting gems, it levels up your champions. It also costs, I believe it's 1,500 or 1,200 gems because you have one slot unlocked. And you also have the option, when you do unlock the Sparring Pit, to upgrade it, which costs even more gems. Now, the upgrades are not going to be quite as useful as the first unlock, but if you plan on playing Raid Shadow Legends for a very long time, like I've been playing for almost a year now, I would say that it's worth it. Now, it's not going to be as worth it as the gem mine, but if you play for a very long time, it's still probably going to be one of those things that you want to look at spending your gems at. Now, if you don't plan on playing for a while, then it's not going to be as high on the priority list as the gem mine, though, at least in my opinion. You only end up getting experience from the Sparring Pit. You don't end up getting gems or anything else, but it is a decent way to level up your food without actually having to go through the campaign and farm. All right, next up on the list is going to end up being inventory and vault storage upgrades. Now, I want to talk about this for a second because you do have the option when you do level up, or not level up, but I guess unlock your vault and your champion storage to spend silver or gems. And it's going to be a toss-up. Some people think that silver is better. Some people think that gems are better. Obviously, a lot of people like to use non-paid resources like silver and any opportunity that they can. But when you get to those last few upgrades, like 300 champion vault spaces, like the 280 to 290 or 290 to 300 slots, it costs so much silver that the amount of gems that it takes in comparison just seems like it's a much better deal. But again, this is going to be a little bit personal, and some people would still probably rather pay the silver than the gems. But I think either way, you're going to eventually want to get as many champion, vault, and storage slots as you can, especially if you play the game for a while. So whether you do decide to use silver or gems, it's going to be something that you're going to want to look at doing for your account at one point. All right, now let's move on to the not so great things to spend your gems on. All right, the first one, this is going to be absolute noob bait. Definitely a new player trap. Never ever even consider spending your gems on silver. And what do I mean by this? You can actually directly buy silver with gems in the shop. I know a lot of you guys probably don't even know about this, and trust me, it's for the best because it is such a bad deal. Look at this right here. You're looking at about 4 million silver for 1,400 gems. If you were to just buy 40 gems worth of silver, it's 80,000, and I'll say that 40 gems is a full energy refill. If you were to refill your energy, that also costs 40 gems, and you can not only get the 80,000 silver just by farming the campaign, but you also end up getting experience, and you can get a lot of other valuable stuff as well. So this is just a straight up bad deal, and it's just noob trap. The only reason why this really even exists, in my opinion, is to deceive new players into buying this because they're in a rush. And they don't really know any better. It's really that bad of a deal. All right, next up on the list is going to be the potion packs. Also kind of a new bait, another item in the store that you can end up spending your gems on, which I would say is absolutely not going to be worth it. This one right here, 350 gems, 30 lesser arcane potions, 15 greater arcane potions, 5 superior arcane potions for the price of 350 gems. It's just quite simply a terrible offer. If you were to go and farm the arcane keep, which is open all days of the week, by the way, even if you're not farming the highest stage, you'll still probably be able to get all those potions and more with less energy than 350 gems worth. So definitely not going to be one of the things that I would spend your gems on. All right, next up on the list is going to be the Ascension Keep unlocks on off days. Now, this is another somewhat newer addition, and before this, you were only ever able to go into the Ascension Keeps on the days that they're open. But now you do have the option to actually spend gems to unlock an Ascension Keep for a day that it's not normally open. It's 200, I believe, for the non-void ones, and 300 for void because it's only open one day per week. Now, there's only very extreme circumstances where I would ever even consider doing this. Maybe if there's a limited time fusion and you forgot and you want to complete that fusion before it ends, that's really the only situation I could see doing that. Besides that, those gems, all it is convenience. It's better to wait, save those gems, and use them for other things, and wait a couple of days until the keep that you're trying to farm is unlocked. If you're in a massive hurry, that option really is there for whales or for people who really need that extreme convenience. But for the majority of people, especially if you like to conserve resources and be efficient, really not going to get much value out of running a keep a couple of days early. All right. Next up on the list is going to be market refreshes. Now, I put this on the bad list because I've been doing a little bit of testing. Maybe I'll come out with some videos going in more detail about this in the future, but I just quite simply don't think that it's worth it. With the way that the game is, they would really have to upgrade the market a lot in order for the refreshes to be worth it. Even though they're only 5 gems each, this does add up, especially considering how much of the stuff in the market really isn't that great. It takes a lot of market refreshes in order to end up finding a decent piece of gear, especially when you get to the mid and late game. And the one really good thing in the market is those ancient shards, which are limited to 5 per month. So whether you refresh it or not, once you end up getting your 5 free ancient shards per month from the market, then you can't end up getting any more. Some circumstances where it might be decent, like if there's champion tournaments going on, but for the most part, there's just going to be so many better uses for your gems that I would stay away from market refreshes unless they somehow make the market much better than it is right now. All right, next up on the list is going to be arena timer refreshes. Now, this is similar to the market refreshes. It costs 5 gems, and it's going to be this right here. I'm just going to refresh it so you guys can see. You get 1 for free every 15 minutes, whereas the market, you get 1 every hour. And what you can do is you can refresh your arena opponents list for 5 gems. I could see maybe certain top contenders in Platinum Arena actually using this at a point where it might be worth it, but for the majority of people, it's not going to be worth it. It's just better to wait your 15 minutes. Be patient. The 5 gems doesn't seem like a lot, but it will add up. If you get used to doing this a lot, you'll see a lot of your gems disappear very, very quickly, and it's just quite simply not going to be worth it. Much better uses to spend your gems than arena list refreshes. And the last thing on the list is kind of not really good or bad. It's like mixed opinions. I couldn't really think of whether to put these in the good list or the bad list because a lot of people, especially depending on whether you're a new player or not a new player, you're going to really feel a little bit differently about these things. So the things that I couldn't really categorize are experience boosts, arena tokens, clan boss keys, small shard packs, and mastery scroll resets. So we'll start off with XP boosts. I think a lot of people would probably say that they are going to be worth it, and they are going to be in that same category as the shard packs. 140 gems for 1 day, 280 gems for 3 days. Me personally, I always find a way to get experience boosts either through events or other offers, but if you don't spend a lot of money on the game, you might obviously not have a lot of experience boosts. You do end up getting 1 for free from your weekly quests. Usually it seems like the events are pretty generous. Tournaments are pretty generous with experience boosts. You know, is it worth 140 gems or 280 gems? I think different people will give you different answers to that, but I don't think it's the worst thing to spend your gems on. The next thing was the arena tokens. Now, very similar to energy refills, each arena token refill is going to cost 40 gems. You can find them in the shop as well right here. Now, I personally think that energy is always going to be a better use of 40 gems than arena token refills, but you know, if you're going for Platinum Arena or you really are looking to try to unlock something in the Great Hall, some people might have slightly mixed opinions about this, so I put it on that mixed list right there. Clan boss keys. Now, I personally don't think that this is worth it, but I know certain people, especially if you're going for Ultra Nightmare, maybe the 4 keys that you get each day is not quite going to be enough. They're very expensive, though. That's the only thing. If you go to Clan Boss keys, they're 100 gems each, but I know a lot of people who actually do spend gems on Clan Boss keys, especially endgame players, because you can end up getting some pretty darn good rewards from those high tiers of Clan Bosses. So not personally worth it for me, but some endgame players will probably give you a bit of a different answer on that one there. Small shard packs, very similar to big shard packs, but you're just quite simply not getting as good of a deal. Big shard packs is 11 for 900 gems, whereas small shard packs is only 3 for 270, so you're looking at 90 gems each instead of the 85 or so. It's the exact same thing, you're just paying a little bit more because you're buying less of them. But if you don't have as many gems, I think it's still probably one of the better things that you can buy, especially if there is a double rates event going on for Ancient Shards. But, you know, if you can get a bit of a discount and save up a few more gems, the big shard pack is just going to be better because you're looking at less per actual shard. And let's see here. Mastery Scroll resets. This one is something that I would try to avoid because every champion you do get 1 refresh for free, but if you mess up, and it will probably happen, especially when you're newer, if you want to reset your masteries, it costs 150 gems. It's painful. I don't think it's really worth it, but you might be in a situation where you don't really have a choice. Just keep in mind that you do get 1 for free, which is another reason why you want to pay a little bit of attention to the masteries when you do unlock them. Is because if you do make mistakes, sure, you can reset it once on a champion, but if you're looking to do any more than that, it is going to cost 150 gems. So definitely keep that in mind as you do build up your champions. And I think that's actually going to be everything on this list. So I'm going to leave it off here for the video today. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. And with that all being said, if you want to help out, tossing a like means a whole bunch. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more, and more Raid Shadow Legends videos should be popping up right about now. Thanks again, everyone.